Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of The Worst Writer in the World with...
Howard Long Hooray!
Howard Long Hooray, as is his full name, and my name is not important.
Rufus Punsat's Boo!
Thank you to the British Comedy Guide for hosting this show and to you for listening to it. Oh my goodness, how very wonderful your ears
Good
are.
ears you have.
But most of all, thank you to our patronisers on Patreon who patron us.
That's what they do, that's what they're there for.
For example, our new gang members, Emily Barlow and Charlotte Hodson Truss, and returning members, Paul McStay and James Hazelden.
Hooray!
And let's not forget, the writer of this week's plot so far, Mr. Jeremy Shelton. Roasted vegetable Uncle Josiah makes a meal of drinking whiskey. He shuffles around the floor with his niece on his feet. There is an enormous homosexual doctor with mascara on. It is Dr. Mad. He uses doctor knowledge and determines that the burnt strawberry Pop-Tart that is Uncle Josiah has just popped out of the toaster of life. Now, Howard, you may not remember this, but at the end of last week's episode, they wheeled in Emily on one of those things you use to in pubs
Hey,
to
you know what?
for
Like,
delivery people.
this was written in the time before the internet, so I couldn't look that thing up. But I would just like to say that now that I could look that up, I still wouldn't.
Still wouldn't you just
Still
say, oh, you
wouldn't.
know that thing they bring
Yeah.
bottles in pubs? I mean, we could look it up right now.
Yeah.
And are we?
No, God, no. No.
Not at all.
Why? Everyone knows. No one's going to know what it is if you call it by its name.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
probably got
Well,
a-
people whose job it is to use it or name it.
Yeah,
might,
this
but
is
that's
not,
such a
not a niche podcast for people that work in pubs and wheel stuff around in those things you use for wheeling
This
stuff
is
around
not
in
a
pubs.
niche podcast. This is a
Yeah.
mass appeal podcast.
Yes, a
and
mass
that's,
appeal.
That's why we have so many listeners.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so Chad wheeled his frozen sister in on a trolley.
Yeah, trolley.
Right.
No, that's what it's
And-
called. Yeah.
And
Trolley.
niche. Gone on niche. Niche trolley podcast.
So there's a lot of pub landlords who are happy right there now.
And so he wheeled her in, and Dr. Mad has examined her, right? And Dr. Mad has this insightful thing to say. Time heals, my darling boy. She'll be as right as rain in, say, a day or two, or 3 or 10 or a
Yeah.
year. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Would you like to ask her? Is he being sarcastic now? What? Would you like to ask her? And Will says, how are we going to ask her? She's catatonic there. She's basically a statue. Since she looked at that woman with the snakes coming out of her head, she's basically been a statue. I'm starting to think those two things, maybe they're linked. Could you go and have a, hey, Dr. Matt, go and have a look at that woman over there. Okay, I went, oh dear, that was a mistake. Okay, gun time. I've tried everything else, gun time. I'm going to try shooting everyone, see if they come back to life. So he's just also said, would you like to ask her? What? Would you like to ask her? How are you going to do that? And Dr. Mad says, simple. Are you quite all right, Patricia, love? He holds her nose and pushes her diaphragm. My name is Emily. Fucking magic, man. He's a great doctor.
He's holding her nose and pressing on his
Yeah, so she has to respond.
I suppose, did you think you like pressing each word out of her? What did she say?
My name is Emily.
My name is Emily.
Yeah, maybe. He's using her like a puppet.
Dr. Mad sticks his hand up her arse and operates her mouth. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
I'm not quite satisfied with this response,
Oh,
actually.
hold on, wait a second. Let me put my hand over my own mouth. I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah.
Can you tell it's me now?
Let me do it with my hand over my mouth. Okay, here she goes. I'm not. Shouldn't have done that. I'm a fool.
Ask her where the gold's buried.
But no, so is it meant to be her or not? Because like with that line, it just says Emily. It says basically he holds her nose and pushes her diaphragm. Emily, my name is Emily. But a few lines later, before her next line, it says in brackets he ventriloquizes her. So is he actually saying her lines? Anyway, here's what happens. She says, maybe she, or maybe he.
I don't know what ventriloquizing someone means.
No, I mean, I think it means stick her hand up her
It
arse.
does, doesn't it? Yeah.
All right, so she says, my name is Emily. He says, oh dear, she's answering the wrong question, and she doesn't know her own name. Chad says, her name is Emily, Dr. Mad. Oh, are you quite all right, Emily, my dear? And then it says he ventriloquizes her, and she says, yes, I'll be fine. I just had a little shock, that's all.
Right, I guess it means he does whatever he did last time. He pushes down a diaphragm and holds her nose so I didn't have to write it twice. I thought, like, that's obviously... I've set that up as ventriloquization now.
But so he's not saying her lines. She's not got any more lines, though. That's only
because,
two.
She's not having been pressed, not being ventriloquized.
So now she's a weird thing that if you press her, she says things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's
So
a
in that
perfect
case-
kind of woman.
In that... Ow. By what criteria?
you know, press her and she says, thanks, Howard.
Should probably more like to, I mean, to be honest, most women do say things if you press them. Like, stop fucking pressing me. Get off me. Get out of my house.
Which floor do you want to go to? That kind of thing.
He ventriloquizes her. Yes, I'll be fine. I just had a little shock, that's all. Remarkable. Now, the recovery process will come in stages. She will wake up a bit at a time. Mm-hmm. Her arm will wake up first, and then maybe her knee. So don't expect her to start talking immediately. To speed the process along, you can sing to her.
Right.
I only know one song.
Oh, what's that?
I'll give it a little go for you now. It goes like this. Rapunzel sang, Rapunzel sang, have a little jibble with Rapunzel sang. I learned it from Chad here. He taught it to me.
Oh, that's a lovely song. She'll be back. She'll be right as rain in no time.
Sing to her. Is that usual? No. But nor is this case. Or
I've just invented a cure for something I've never encountered before. I would have never seen this before, but I know if you press on her diaphragm, she can speak, and if you sing to her, her leg will come back to life in about an hour.
I mean, that sounds stupid, but that is exactly what just happened in this script. Absolutely brilliant. If you sing to her, her leg will come back to life.
Well, he was right about pressing her diaphragm.
He was.
So, I mean, he's just good at guessing.
He's super lucky. Let's have a quick recap of who on earth these people are. So we've got Chad. He's the idiot boy, right? Chad's like the moron of the group. His sister Emily, who used to be the intelligent twin, but now is a statue.
Yes.
Right?
Intelligent statue.
But kind of useless. There's William, who is the older brother, who's the one who seems to have worked things out. He seems to be the detective of the group.
Yeah.
Uncle Josiah is dead. And finally, there's Dr. Mad, who is perhaps the worst doctor in the world.
Right, yeah.
All right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
after Colin Baker. I think that's fair, right?
That is fair, yes. All right, let's see what happens next. Elizabeth enters. Oh, Dayard then is here?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, yes. Good. And how's Emily? She'll be fine. She just can't perform any actions whatsoever at the moment. Can she see us? I don't know. She can answer questions if you push her tummy. That's weird. Are you sure that the doctor wasn't just using her like a ventriloquist dummy? No, Liz says, her tummy? Well, her diaphragm. I think I was trying to live up to some kind of unspoken expectation of my 15-year-old vocabulary. I might have to approach that line again.
Why you did it
Step back a bit and try and work out what it means. Oh, she can answer questions if you push her tummy. Her tummy? Well, her diaphragm. Oh, I get it. Okay, so I think the reason I chose the word tummy rather than diaphragm, I think I was trying to live up to some kind of unspoken expectation of, my 15-year-old vocabulary. That's better. That's better delivery, isn't it? That made it make more sense.
Pretty great.
Thanks. Liz laughs.
Yeah.
She goes, right. Do you like pushing her tummy, Charlie?
Oh.
Do you like pushing her tummy?
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, well, that's what he's going to say. I hadn't really given it that much consideration. Really weird question, to be honest. Because that's his sister, right, as well. So she's being suggestive about his sister. That's a bit weird. Oh, God, she's going to get worse. You and Emmett are very close, aren't you?
Shit.
Of course, we're Peapod twins. We're Peapod twins. We're Peapod twins. What does that mean, Howard? what is
Like peas in a pod, Peapod twins, isn't it?
Peapod twins. Are they also male and female identical twins? Is that?
Yeah.
Or is this
They're identical male and female twins, and also they're like half pea.
I mean, in a sense,
green.
Maybe Peapod twins is the perfect, because as we know from Rapunzel, you can't have male and female identical twins. But that's not. This doesn't say identical twins. It's like if you have like male and female twins who just look really similar to each other. They're not identical, but they're just super similar. You call them Peapod twins because they're like you said. They're like peas in like two peas in a pod. Oh my god.
Shit, I mean, like, you're saying, oh my god.
No, it's not that bad. It's just a bit weird. It's just a bit weird.
It's a bit weird.
I mean, there's a point in every Howard Long script or story when I go, fuck, that's a bit weird. Like when Will starts going, I don't know if you remember his voice, but when Will starts going, well, in Forget Me Not, well, when I was 12 and had sex that time. It's a bit like, well, that's a bit weird. When Rapunzel, when absolutely anything happens in Rapunzel. Right, but like when they're doing like spider hands at the beginning, or when like Mr. Smead is following.
You just say, "Oh my god," to the bits where in most of my scripts there's some underage children fucking.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, or the suggestion thereof.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you put like, yeah. I think
it's the paedophilia that runs through my scripts is the thing you're taking issue with.
It's that vein of paedophilia that you always put in.
Yeah.
But when I get to that, I'm always a bit, oh, we're here again. Because that's what's happening here. So he says, of course, we're Peapod twins.
Paedophilia pod twins.
Yeah, sorry, I've spelt that wrong.
We're pedo twins.
It should be pedo twins. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? We're pedo twins.
I mean, you've got all the letters there. You've doubled the P, but basically it's almost an exact. It isn't. If you just don't worry about the double P, it is an exact anagram of pedo.
Yeah, well, the P's just in the wrong place, isn't it? Because that's what you get to the philia.
No, I mean P. Oh, I see what you mean. It's like it's left over from the suffix. Yeah. We're Peapod Hillier twins. We're Peapod Hillier twins. What do you mean, man? No, it's an anagram. I'm not allowed to say paedophilia. But I didn't want to make it too strange. I said Peapodphilia. Right, so a lot of the people have left, and now all we have in this room is Chad, who is alone with frozen Emily and dead Uncle Josiah.
Wow.
He turns Emily around and ventriloquizes her, and I wish you'd gone into more detail about what that means, because I don't know if that means... Like this,
it's the first. It's a repeat of when it happens the first time.
I know, but even then it was weird. Like I don't. You press.
You just
and
want
she
it to mean that he sticks his hand up her arse. That's all.
No,
I just desperately want it to be that he's going around putting his hand up his sister's arse.
I mean, that's what you're saying. Now, I mean, if you were going to ventriloquize a person who was like asleep or whatever, you'd move their jaw, wouldn't you? And then you'd like, hello, my name's Emily.
Yes.
Skeleton.
Yes.
My name's Emily.
Yes, and you'd like pull her skin off so she was an actual skeleton. Which is more fun.
And also then you could move her jaw more easily. Then you could get your hand in behind. Absolutely, yeah.
You put the fingers coming out the sockets and everything.
Yeah. So why isn't he doing that?
Yeah. Lord knows. I mean, if I redrafted it, that's definitely what would happen.
That is what should happen, yeah. In a
Chad
live...
pulls off Emily's skin and starts
Live
sticks
play.
that in her skeleton. Yeah.
It's such an odd idea. I think that's why my mind can't just accept, because it never would occur to me that reality could work that way, that you could press someone and they'd speak. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? But like, not in the sense, like, obviously you can prod someone and then they'll go, oh yeah, sorry, it was my turn to speak. But they're not doing that, are they? Because it's called ventriloquizing. So it's this weird... I don't understand what's wrong with Emily.
You've got to push it for each syllable. I mean, it's not just you don't press them once and then they say something. You've got to be like, I would like some peas, please.
No more logical. They're both so odd.
It's perfectly logical. If you
really
press the
weird.
diaphragm, that's where you come from. So she sounds like that. She's going,
But that would suggest,
"Stop
like...
pressing my diaphragm."
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. If you wanted to say, stop prodding me, then you prod her. Yeah, absolutely. So let me try and perform Emily correctly. So essentially, you'll say she's like prodding every syllable out, right?
But I don't think that's helpful for the listeners. I think you can probably just...
All right, so we'll imagine instead that what happens is he prods her on the shoulder. Right, he just presses her shoulder and she says, aren't you supposed to sing to me? Right, yes. Any requests?
Could you sing the puzzle song for me, please? The puzzle song.
Any requests? Daddy went to London.
Oh, classic.
Oh, yes, I like that one. He sings and does actions.
Oh,
is this an actual song or is this one you've
doubt
written?
it.
Okay.
Daddy went to London. It just sounds like a real song. I mean, it could do.
Might be
It sounds like a kind of like.
know.
It sounds like a musical kind of song. Oh, Daddy went to London, and guess what he did see? He saw a massive monkey swinging on a tree. Oh, that kind of thing. Something like that. You wouldn't see a monkey swinging on a tree, though. That was an unfair description of what you might find in London. I should have gone with a boring.
You've lived in London.
A boring building with people in it working.
Yeah. You've lived in London for like 20 years. Your best improv line about what you see when you arrive in London is a monkey swinging on a tree. Oi! Fucking monkey. Monkey London. Full of fucking monkeys stealing my bananas.
Monkey London.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. It's Daddy went to London. Daddy went to London. Daddy went to London. Daddy went to London, and this is what he saw.
Oh, is that what it is? Is what he saw?
Monkey. Monkeys. Doing lots of monkeys. No, it's Daddy went to London. Daddy went to London. Daddy went to London, and this is what he saw. Lots and lots of buildings. Oh my God, it's an answer to you. It's lots of buildings, not many trees.
Oh shit!
And lots of peasants selling magazines.
Oh wow. That's big issue sellers.
Lots of buildings, not many trees, and lots of peasants selling magazines. Daddy went to London, Daddy went to London, Daddy went to London, and this is what he saw. Huge roads, all filled with horseless carriages, peasants in the street, selling sausages.
Sausages?
You've never been to London. It's weird. Like, this happened in the firm as well. You're like, oh, I think I'll write about London. Right, monkeys, sausage vendors, those nut things
monkeys
with
there.
chocolate stuff. No, it's just you. No, but you. I'm just putting you together, all right?
Yeah, but this is actually the two same things from the firm, because the peasant selling magazine is Big Issue, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
and
true.
And Big Issue was from the firm,
Yeah,
and people selling sausage. Oh, maybe not sausages.
But food, like
smells.
Yeah, food and also
smell.
street food. Like, that's what defines London. I say, compared to most cities, London doesn't have that much street food, does it? I mean, it does exist, but mostly you go in to a place and get it, and then maybe go out. You know, we're a sandwich city, aren't we? Really, that's what the staple is. But yeah, it's sausage. I'd love it if there were loads of street sausage vendors. I'd be always eating sausages, but there really aren't.
No
Sausages. I mean, it's just there. It's there to rhyme with carriages,
It doesn't though.
isn't it?
It doesn't rhyme with carriages though.
But it's probably. Can you think of a food that better rhymes with carriages?
No, but I mean,
I know.
does it have to be a food?
No, it doesn't, because the first line is actually lots of peasants selling magazines, so it needs to be something you can sell rather than a food. Can you think of something that rhymes with carriages that you can sell? Marriages.
Marriages you can sell.
Clariages.
Farrages.
Clariages is a shop.
Yes.
Lots of peasants selling in Claridge.
Yeah. Asparagus.
yeah, courgette. Oh, hang on. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, because the plural of asparagus is asparages, right?
Yeah, Bob Carroll cheese.
Yeah, Bob Carroll cheese. There you go. Lots of peasants selling Bob Carroll
I'll do it
cheese.
again.
Okay.
So, I've forgotten the tune, obviously. And huge roads all filled with horseless carriages. Peasants in the street selling Bob Carroll.
It's a good job he exists. He's the only thing that rhymes with carriages.
Also doesn't particularly.
Love and marriage go together like Bob Carriages. Classic song.
Like a horse and Bob Carroll cheese. Yeah. If you don't know who Bob Carroll Cheese is, that's not surprising. So, Howard, who is Bob Carroll Cheese?
Bob Carroll Cheese, the guy that had Spit the Dog.
Spit the Dog, yeah absolutely. So he was a children's entertainer, I guess. He was a man with a moustache.
He did have a moustache.
He had a dog.
And he had a small...
A hand puppet
dog,
and it was very small, wasn't it?
And he used to ventriloquise it by pressing its stomach. No, he didn't.
Yeah, it didn't speak; it just spat. And that was his ventriloquism. Like he'd make a spitting noise, I guess, without moving his mouth, which I guess is probably quite difficult.
Yeah, that's why it was called Spit the Dog.
Yeah,
it's a great.
That was the whole act, and he got on TV with that. That's what the 70s was like.
Oh, fuck that! I'm like Shit the Monkey, right? That's my new act.
yeah, brilliant. Okay.
What have you got to say about that Shit the Monkey?
yeah. Okay, I've got to vomit the giraffe.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Earwax the dog.
Earwax the dog. There's already been a dog.
All right, duck. Okay. Yeah. Earwax the duck.
Piss the cat.
Yeah, and heroin the squirrel.
Yeah, that's the best
heroin the squirrel. Every now keeps shooting up heroin.
And it goes, hey man, it's groovy.
Yeah.
Can speak. Because it's fucking has so much heroin it can talk.
Yeah. And yet, Bob Carroll Cheese with his Spit the Dog can get on TV, but we can't with heroin the squirrel.
What
no
did
one
he
wants
do?
us to entertain
What do you think Bob Carroll... He must have been telling jokes.
He must have been, yeah. There must have been more to him than just having a dog that spat.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe there wasn't.
Probably wasn't.
Because entertainment was a lot simpler and crapper in the 70s, right? I say 70s probably because that's probably when he started, although we'd known from the 80s.
I don't think that even in the 70s, I don't think entertainment consisted of a man coming on with a dog and it just spitting and him not saying anything.
But are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Alright, so Chad has been singing to the catatonic Emily. Okay.
Right.
So he stops singing and he says, Dr. Mad would like London. His name is so on the nose. Anyway, he just says that, and then he goes back to singing, Daddy went to London. But he only does one line, and then he speaks again and says, Why did Mother never go? Did she have to stay here and look after us? No, Nanny was here, and other servants. Daddy always went on his own. Well, I shan't complain. We'll all be there soon. Emily, I just realised everything's changing. Everything is changing. Perhaps I should? Yes. I'll put on my London clothes. London clothes. I have my London clothes. This is my London hat. It says London on it. This is my London t-shirt. It says I love London on it.
He does mean
my London trousers.
Like a load of stuff that his dad bought from
pictures of Big Ben
from Leicester Square.
Yeah. From like a really overpriced shit souvenir
Union
shop.
Jack hat and all that stuff.
Yes. I'll put my London clothes on. You don't think I'm being a little premature, do you? I'll take that as a no. I can always touch wood later. You don't think I'm being premature, do you? I can always touch wood later. Then I'll be premature.
Yeah.
So I can always touch wood later. Don't go anywhere, will you, Joax? I'll be back in a butterfly. I'll be back I'll be back in the butterfly.
He's going to get inside a butterfly and flap back in.
When he says his London clothes, he means his butterfly costume. Yeah. He's like, I've heard that London is full of two things, right? In London, there's loads of monkeys. Right? Principally monkeys, but there's also a lot of butterflies. Much more than in the countryside. Loads of butterflies. So I've got a butterfly suit and my sister's got a monkey suit, so we'll fit in when we go there. I'll go and put my London clothes on. That's what's going on here. He departs, hence, closing the door behind him. There is a brief pause. Then the music of Sleepwalker begins to play in a scary, echoey manner. And from the bed, the ghost of Uncle Josiah rises. His body, of course, remains behind.
Wow.
No pun intended.
Doing good, because there wasn't one.
Yeah, that is what people should say that more often, because people who say no pun intended are annoying, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I made a pun, and I did intend it, obviously, but not. That wasn't all I intended. Also, what I was saying made sense. So people should not be allowed to say that, except when they absolutely didn't intend to make a pun and therefore didn't make a pun.
Yeah, exactly.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely, no pun intended. Yeah, particularly if you say something dumb, that's the thing, isn't it? If you say something wrong, you're like, no pun intended. You're like, you didn't make a pun. Oh, no, that's what I said.
Well, if you've written it down and you've accidentally written a pun, and then you write afterwards, no pun intended, because you've accidentally written a pun, then what you should actually do is just like get rid of the accidental pun and then not write no pun intended, and just not have anything and not mention puns.
Well, in that case, you can say no pun intended after you've deleted it.
Yes, and that's why there's not one there.
Yeah, because you went back and deleted it because you're a smart guy. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's good. But what are you thinking? His body, of course, remains behind.
I guess remains is another word for the remains of a. But usually those remains are like a rotting corpse or
his
just
body remains behind. Yeah, okay, I get it. Emily's eyes can see him, and she watches with a frozen, already shocked horror.
Oh my God!
Frozen
already shocked horror.
No, frozen already is hyphenated. So basically, you're saying she's frozen in shocked horror, but then you're like, but hang on, she's already frozen. So she watches with a frozen already shocked horror.
And her eyes can see him. What about her legs? Can her legs see him?
Yeah, they can. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say though.
Yeah, just her eyes then.
I think it's just
a good job I specified then. Otherwise, anyone reading this would assume that her legs could see him.
Yeah, and when the actress gets there, she's like, oh fuck, how am I going to make my legs? How am I going to get that across to the audience when I've got my back to them? The world hath turned black with hate, and the children of the night do sing off key. Pity poor Josiah, for he hath been wronged. Colchem. What does Colchem mean?
I don't know.
It says Colchem. No? Shall I try and find out? Because maybe this is the result of some Howard Long research that you've forgotten. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff about the Holocaust coming up. So I think I'm not going to use that particular resource as a source of humour.
The anagram.
He's a ghost saying anagrams. You're obsessed. What is wrong with you with anagrams? When a ghost comes back, what's the first thing that I would do? If I was a ghost, what's the first thing I'd do? Probably anagrams. First anagrams, then acronyms later, and then crosswords. I'll probably write some crosswords. And then we have some stage directions. Josiah heads for the door. It swings magically open.
Well, can't he walk through it?
I guess not, because it turns out he's an actor. He passes through and it closes behind him. As he goes, so the music goes with him.
But I'd know how to do that.
Huh?
You could... What you could do is, like, when people are distracted, you slide out the real door, and then you like do you project a door, and just walk through the projection of the door.
Yeah.
No, it's never going to work, is it? Because you've got to project it onto something.
Yeah.
Onto a door.
I've got this great plan, everybody, for how we're going to do this on stage. Stage magic by Howard Long. I'm going to project a door. Onto a door.
There's got to be a way of doing it. Maybe like if it's made of polystyrene, you just crash through it. Could quickly shove another one in its place and hope no one notices.
To be honest, I'm going to say that on this occasion, young Howard Long has done better than old Howard Long.
Really?
Because what old Howard Long is doing is like, maybe I can project a door or crash through some polystyrene. And young Howard Long has immediately ignored that ridiculous and terrible idea. And he said, It'd still look quite impressive if the doors magically open. That's that's magic ghost powers. I think that's going to look good on stage.
Yeah, he's wrong. We're definitely going to figure out about crash through that polystyrene.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So Josiah heads for the door and then crashes through it because it's made of polystyrene. As he goes, so the music goes with him.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the band follow him. The orchestra also crash through the
Johnny and
polystyrene.
Santos, they're actually there. They just follow him.
Emily is trying desperately hard to scream. She can barely open her mouth.
Someone needs to press her.
Yeah. A stagehand comes on and presses her. She can barely open her mouth, and only a high-pitched squeak can be heard.
Go on then.
Meep, meep,
I thought you were saying milk.
Milk! Milk! Milk!
And
Okay.
only a little milk comes out.
Yeah. The shock of it finally gets her. Her stiff body topples forward and she falls like a sack of potatoes onto the bed.
Right.
What's
that like?
Still in the same frozen position. So
sack of potatoes is something that I must have heard once, and I write a lot. Like, it falls like a sack of potatoes. But it's like, what was that even? What falls like?
Well, it's interesting because you have crossed. I read it even though you'd crossed it out. Because I think what you've realised reading back on this is that you've contradicted yourself in the sentence, haven't you? Because it says she falls like a sack of potatoes onto the bed, still in the same frozen position. And when people use that like a sack of potatoes, they mean kind of crumpling, because the potatoes are, there's no stiffness to them. And then you've gone, but hang on, she's stiff.
They're not mashed potatoes. There's lots of stiffness to potatoes.
But not to a sack of.
Not to a sack
if it
of
were,
potatoes.
what you should change it to is she falls like one big potato
Yeah.
onto the bed, because
One
that would...
big stiff potato
Yeah,
onto the bed.
massive, stiff, like 4 foot tall potato onto the bed.
Doesn't
But not like
doesn't
mash.
need a simile, does it? She just falls onto the bed.
But you have crossed it out. You have realised that,
good.
and you've changed it, and now it says, and she falls still in the same frozen position, and you also not onto the bed anymore. So I guess you've gone. She falls onto the floor, just like topples like a tree.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Definitely. Charles returns. He is wearing the same bottom half.
Right.
He's got the same legs. No, it's exactly what we thought it was going
He's
to be.
a horse now.
He is wearing the same bottom half, but up top he now wears a tight I Heart London t-shirt and a London ! Cap.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What?
I'm just glancing at Chad's next speech. All right, so
Speech. Oh, exciting.
not a long speech, it's more, but he is going to do a little bit of a... He's going to do a bit, basically. He's going to do a bit. All right. Chad
I've
has
enjoyed his
walked in.
bits
Now, I
before.
want you to picture this. All right. So the ghost of Josiah has left. Right. Walked out of the door, crashing through the polystyrene. Emily is terrified and has fallen like a very stiff potato
Yeah.
onto the bed.
One big stiff
Right, so she's lying down like a big stiff potato. And Chad walks in wearing an I Heart London t-shirt and a London hat and goes, "Law lummy. Spare us a farthing, governor. Pears and apples. Me and Phil are brothers. And there ain't nothing gonna come between us. What she don't know is we won't be seeing much more of her." So he's just coming doing his
some quotes,
Cockney,
isn't he?
doing his Cockney bit.
Did a bit
And
of
yeah.
EastEnders and Alfie
He
there.
did. And then he sees Emily. "Emily, you've fallen over. How gosh dill silly of you. How gosh dill silly of you. How gosh dill silly of you. Here, let me help you up." He stands her back on the trolley. "There. How do I look? Admittedly, it's a lot smaller now than when you brought it back for me. Actually, I suspect I may have grown a little since then. That's more likely, isn't it?
Yeah, all right.
I mean, Nanny couldn't possibly have shrunk it in the wash, because that just doesn't happen when you put clothes in an oven." That's a reference back to an earlier joke, isn't it? Yeah. There's some setup to that I've forgotten. Can you tell me what the setup was?
The nanny
was-
was mad.
And she put clothes in the oven and food in the washing machine.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. He ventriloquizes her, no response.
Oh shit.
So he prods her and nothing happens.
She's dead.
"Emily, why aren't you speaking to me?" He ventriloquizes her again. He sings, "Daddy went to London, Daddy went to London, Daddy went to London, and this is what he saw. Lots and lots of monkeys." And lots of monkeys swinging in the big trees, eating chocolate nuts. He speaks, "Emily, He ventriloquizes her, no response.
Oh.
William, come quickly!
He shakes Emily.
William!
William charges in, carrying his cup and saucer. Dr. Mad and Liz follow, likewise with crockery. What is it? What is it, Chad?
She's not speaking anymore.
Hold this, my darling boy, says Dr. Mad. He gives cup and saucer to Charles. He examines Emily. Cassandra, because he always gets her name wrong, that's part of his gag, right? Cassandra, can you hear me? She appears to be suffering from shock. I'm a doctor, don't you know? I have diagnosed this fucking statue as suffering from shock. And more shock.
Double shock.
Double shock. Previously, she was only suffering from single shock, and that's why when you prodded her, she could speak. It's a common side effect of single shock, but now she's got double shock.
Yeah, you got to crank her arm if you want to talk now.
But yeah, imagine she's a water pump. There you go. Oh, hang on. Yet again, Howard Long surprises me.
Oh no, it's not crank her arm, is it?
No, it's not quite that, but it's she appears to be suffering from shock.
Didn't we already know that?
Yes, well, she's had another one.
Oh.
I'm not making that up. That is the line. She's had another one. She has a case of bi-shock. I said double shock, but she has bi-shock. Or, as it is more commonly known, twin shock.
Twin shock. Why is it more commonly known as that? What is he talking about? Is he a qualified doctor?
No, he's a mad person.
He's a madman, isn't he?
He is Dr. Mad. Hello, my name's Dr. Mad, although the second word's more true than the first in that case. Alright, so Emily had a second shock because she saw Uncle Josiah's ghost. And according to Dr. Mad, this means she's now suffering from bi-shock, which is also known as twin shock. Okay?
He's a good doctor.
Yeah, I'm revising that. Who's the worst doctor? I'm starting to think maybe Colin Baker's not the worst doctor after all. Maybe it's Dr. Mad.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what happens next. Charles gives cup and saucer back to Doctor and exits.
Well, Doctor, what should we do?
Well, there is still no danger. She'll recover. It may take a little longer now. Perhaps a damp cloth would help. Mm-hmm. I'm a doctor. Do you like my doctoring skills? Yeah. Why don't we damp cloth her? And then maybe some kind of stick. Shall we try hitting her with a stick?
Yeah.
Have you tried balancing a squirrel on her head?
That's a good one. It's good. Yeah. I mean, what an idiot, eh?
Yeah.
It's almost as if he's got no knowledge of how to do doctoring.
It does feel like that sometimes, doesn't it? But he's called Dr. Mad, so he must know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
We've got to respect his name title thing.
I mean, Dr. Mad probably didn't have the internet then to know that when people have got twin shock, that sticking a wet tea towel on their head's not going to be any help. It's just going to make them a little more uncomfortable.
Nowadays, Dr. Mad could be like, I'll just Google it.
Yeah.
Apparently twin shock's not a thing.
I made it up.
There's no solution because it's invented by me just now.
Apparently we need to get her to hospital really quick because she's in serious danger of dying. Yeah. She's in a coma. She needs breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
We're apparently poking her.
Prodding her and saying words she might say. That's nothing. That doesn't help at all.
Oh yeah, she hasn't got a put. She's dead. I realise she's dead.
Yeah.
It was me saying all that before.
Hang on, I'm looking up not answering or breathing or living. What does that mean? It means she's dead.
She's dead. How are you? How are you feeling? I am feeling fine. She says she's fine.
Right, okay. Apparently what I should have said when I did that was I am feeling dead. Yeah. Perhaps a damp cloth would help. And Will says, a damp cloth? Yes, why not? Can't hurt. Yeah. It's not going to help, but it doesn't hurt, does it?
Could give her a chill. In the, I mean, I know this isn't actually set in the past, but they think they're in the past, and people always used to die of a chill in like Jane Austen novels and things.
Yeah, and in Rapunzel,
Rapunzel, of course, famously.
When Rapunzel,
oh my God, yeah.
It was
so
Rapunzel,
it is her,
yeah, who died of window disease. Getting a chill was so deadly back then. Yeah. All you had to do was open a window for such a short time that your dad hasn't even worried and broken the door down. He's all outside stroking the door, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm dead of window disease." That's not her voice. That's her mum's voice. Oh, I'm dead of window disease. Should we put her somewhere warm? Yes. Why not? Can't hurt. That's my main doctrine of writing. Should we put a hat on her? Yes, can't hurt, can it? Hats don't hurt.
It could hurt if the hot place you want to put her is in the fire. Right.
Yeah, or the oven. Yeah. Yes, can't hurt. Just don't get Nanny to do it.
Yeah.
She's notoriously bad at putting things in the oven. Can't hurt. She's frozen with fear, so we could conceivably lull her with warmth. My main understanding of medicine is metaphor. She's frozen with fear. Set fire to her! All right. Are you sure you're a doctor?
She's not frozen with fear anymore, is she? She's dead with dead.
Yeah, so she's frozen with fear, so we could conceivably lull her with warmth. Yes! Yes! Perhaps a sheet. Perhaps a sheet.
Yeah, they're going to put a sheet on her.
Put a sheet on her.
She's going to be like a ghost, right? Is it going to be a joke?
Probably.
It's fucking weird.
Perhaps we should put a sheet on her head and she could stand there with a sheet
And
on her head.
he's gonna say no, she won't be able to see, and be like, how about we cut some holes out for some eyes then? That is definitely gonna what's happened, right?
Yeah, probably. Okay, this is perhaps a sheet from Good Heavens, Josiah's sheets have been disturbed. Oh. Look at him. He's so still and undoubtedly pale beneath his mask. All right, so Dr. Matt and Will have gone off to find a sheet, right?
Right.
To put over the catatonic Emily so they don't have to look at her. Like, out of sight, out of mind. All right.
Wow.
And then Chad bursts in and says, I have changed again. Everyone has departed hence. Excellent line. Everyone has departed hence.
I mean,
What's that, you see? What do you mean?
I think you'd be great on stage doing this. I'd love to see you play that part particularly.
Yeah, if you finish the script, let's do it. Let's stage it. I'll play Chad and you play all the other parts. Yeah. But we'll rewrite it so that there's only ever two characters on stage at once, and you can keep coming back in different wigs and stuff. And then also the twist's got to be that actually it's just one person.
Yeah, all right.
And I'll just be there. I'll be one of those where I'm always on stage, and like when you leave, and I've just got to have a drink or whatever, I'm never allowed to leave. And then it's just a series of conversations between your four characters and me going. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just one person in various different disguises trying to convince your character to get off with them, isn't it? That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, here I am, Dr. Matt. No, I'm not your sister-in-law.
I'm not really interested in weird old mustachioed men, actually.
We'll go away. Bye, hello, it's me, your sister-in-law. Would you like to have a kiss? You get on the bed next to this corpse and have a kiss.
No, I mean, you are my sister-in-law. That seems a bit wrong,
right,
actually.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, if we weren't related, maybe I might be interested.
I might shoot your brother. We'll not be related.
No, I'm not really interested in women, to be honest.
Oh, really? What'd you like to have? Do your own brother? Do you like your brother? What about your sister?
I'm more interested in bears.
Right, okay.
Mostly like bears.
Okay, go now, milk. Rah. Here I am, Mr. Bear. Coming in, you Charlie.
Bear.
Coming in, you Charlie. What's your name, Charlie? Yeah. What's he doing in you, Charlie?
All right. So anyway, Chad comes back on and says, I have changed again. Everyone has departed hence. Except you, twin shock Emily, and you, dead Uncle His words turn to a terrible coughing and retching. Okay, Here we go.
I was going to die.
All right. Except for you, twin shock Emily, and you, dead Uncle Uncle
Rufus, you're right. Oh my God, my blood's coming out.
He grabs hold of the whiskey and drinks.
Oh no.
He spits it out. He staggers. London! I must go! I have to see the Bermuda Square! I'm going to have to stop acting quite so much at the moment and just let it aside for you. What's the Bermuda Square, Howard? The Bermuda Square! Lotto, you're doing another one of your lists. Lotto and colour TV! Those Not things in chocolate stuff. Nachos.
Monkeys.
Monkeys in trees. No, the Bermuda Square. Lotto and colour TV. 15. What is happening to me? Coughs more. Finds water. Drinks, coughs. Blood spills from his mouth. He sees this, hears faint. He crumples to the floor. As thunder crashes outside. Followed by the lightning. That is the beginning of a play-long storm. Blackout to dramatic music.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
End. Act 2 of 4. Interval.
The end.
And tragically, Howard Long never wrote Acts 3 and 4. He left during the interval. He's like, fuck this, I'm going, and ran away.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do? You didn't finish the script again.
I didn't finish it. Did you finish it?
I didn't finish it either.
So
no one
finished it this time.
Yeah, so this is an unfinished Howard Long work. So maybe we could ask the listener to help us with ideas, all right? So why don't you help us to finish this story by sending us your synopsis of what should happen in the rest of the play. Obviously, keep it quite short, all right? You don't need to actually write the play. This is important. Do not write the actual play. We're not asking you to write a play. That seems a bit too much.
I didn't write a play. You don't need to write a play.
That seems like we're almost asking too much of the listener. All we want is your ideas. So send us a paragraph or two which basically tell us how the play should end in your opinion.
Yes, good. You can send us in bullet points if you like.
Yeah, do what you want. Just keep it short.
You can send us a picture if you like.
If necessary, because
We're
not going to do an audio episode for the end. We're going to do a video episode, which will be publicly available. It will be for everyone, unlike the companion videos, which, if you want to see them, you can for just $2 a month.
Wow.
But this final episode will be public. So get on over to our YouTube channel, where we're called Man by Cow, and subscribe now. Then next week, we will sit around, read your ideas, and maybe even choose the one that we like best to be canon, right? To be the correct ending.
Yeah,
right?
someone's going to get canonised. That means we're going to
cannon someone.
You're going to cannon and shoot you into
space.
A space.
Into space.
Space.
So if you want us to shoot you into space in a cannon, or not, that's fine too. So if you think you've got a great idea, or even if you haven't, write down how you think the play should end, and we will talk about it on the video episode next week. Send your summaries to manbycow@gmail.com.
And how are you spelling man by cow?
I'm spelling it with an M.
Okay.
And then an
Thank
A.
you. Catch you later. Bye.
There is a bit more.
Okay.
It's an MANBUYCOW
Man by cow.
@gmail.com. And we look forward to hearing from all of you pillocks.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on social media, then you can. And if you want more content by us, then you can get it by joining our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Check it out at manbycow.com.
Oh, it's a fruity bargain.
/free. If you want the free stuff to check out first. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye-bye, milk.
Milk.
He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer. Yeah.